Okay, have a seat there. Meet again, Martine.
Yeah,
Meet again.
you sure do.
So, this is, I'll let you introduce yourself.
Yeah,
Sure,
yeah.
Yeah,
We
okay.
just did. Would you
All
like
right.
me to do it on video though?
And you got a copy of the report, correct? Yeah. Yeah, if you want to do it on the
Okay.
video, sure.
Just for the video purposes, I'm Constable Hiscox with the OPP here at Thunder Bay Detachment.
Okay, so you read through the report that I did, because I went through every occurrence at APS, and Danette just went through it as well. And what questions do you have?
Question, I need to correct it. This is the reason why that I phoned,
Can you speak up, because it's
yeah.
going to pick you up.
this is the reason why I spoke to the Attorney General in Sudbury and told him that I want to set it up, that most of the stuff that is written on here is false. It's a false statement, or it's not done properly. There's police reports that are not, they're doubled. There's some of them that has the wrong dates on them. There's several things that needs to be corrected.
Well, all that information that's on the report came from the computer system, and all the dates and all the times and
I'm
places.
sorry to say it, but yeah, you know, I know how
Yeah.
computer system works, and
Well,
somewhere along the line, somebody must have changed the dates. To give you a little example, it says right here, Martine Morsel stated that she had left Brian Morsel due to the abuse she and her 4 children suffered from him. Let's make a little correction here. That she separated from her husband Brian Morsel in 2005. I did not separate from my husband in 2005. It was in the year 2006.
I'm going by the last interview you gave to
Well,
me
I'm
in
sorry,
Constable
but
General Day.
that's the
Well,
date I have. The reason why I know this
Okay,
is
Martine,
because my
yeah.
grandson was born in August
I'm not gonna
2006,
get
and I
into-
left my husband in
That's
2006.
fine. I'm not gonna get into any arguments with you.
Well, Tony, I'm not arguing.
We
I'm
went-
stating truth.
yeah.
I don't lie.
Yep,
And
well,
this is lying, and this is obstruction of justice, plus on top of that, it shouldn't there be a law on lies, on actually bringing my children into it? You guys don't want me having my children testify into anything, but you have my children in here. So what's this?
Your children have been...
You're bringing the children, and here it says that they have 4 children named Michael and Melanie. Let's make another correction on that one. Michael and Melanie are my 2 oldest children. They are not Brian's children, okay? Caitlin and Taisha are his. Michael and Melanie are the one that suffered most of the abuse in the relationship because they were white.
spoken to by police officers and they didn't say anything.
Another correction, that Brian had also given her son Michael a bullet. It wasn't Brian that gave Michael the bullet. It was given to Michael from somebody on the reserve. That her daughter Melanie's real father is Omer Cote. Omer is spelled O-M-E-R. Passed away in 2003 while at work at the Best Western. While I was at work at the Best Western, I worked there for 1.5 years. That the legal determined Melanie was the problem in the house and she was removed to a foster home. That's not true. Melanie was asked to be removed.
Okay, you're telling us it's not true.
No, it wasn't. I said no. They told me she was a problem child and she needed to be removed, and I said no.
All right, fair enough.
That she was married to Brian in '97 and separated in 2005. I separated in 2006.
Yeah, you already said that.
Here it says that she had gone to see a lawyer in Toronto for help but got nothing. I was seeking advice and asking for legal aid, where I was informed that I had to come back to Thunder Bay to fight this in court because Thunder Bay doesn't want me going to a different court in Toronto or anywhere. It has to be brought back here, and the reason why being, I know for a fact, is because there's too much document that's corruption and
You know what,
fraud,
Martine,
whatever.
I'm not going to go into that.
That she did see Children's Aid Society in Gatineau, Quebec, Nicholas and Catherine Saint-Amour in October 2005. Correction, October 2006.
Whatever. I'm not going to go into that.
That agency in Ottawa has suggested they get married.
Hold on one second, okay, Martine. You can go through this whole report.
That's
if you
what
want.
we were said. They told me to do.
You brought
I spoke to Roger and he said, Martine, go through it, highlight everything that is wrong in that report.
This is Roger Chartrand, or whatever his name is?
Chunel.
Okay. Well, he never said that, so.
Well, he told me.
Yeah. Well, you're making changes now after the fact, I mean.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
making change because you guys didn't do it right. Actually, let's look at
You're
this one.
saying the officers never
April
did their job.
2006, Martine's daughter, Melanie Morso, residing with Brian Morso. Melanie never lived with Brian, never. She was living with her
Like I
boyfriend.
said, this stuff I got all off the computer, so.
1406 Tarbert Street, Thunder Bay. Melanie pregnant at the time, yes she was. Melanie received numerous phone calls from Brian regarding pills. Okay, that's against the law selling pills, isn't it? Brian's apartment was broken into and trashed. Thunder Bay Police Service called. Martine told Melanie to leave the resident, and she did because I was afraid for my daughter, my grandchild. Melanie and her boyfriend, see, it's his boyfriend, moved to Quebec. Melanie never lived in Quebec. Never. Toronto.
You know what, I'm not gonna get into arguments with you.
Never moved to
No.
Quebec or lived in Quebec. She lived in Toronto.
Yeah.
So this whole thing is nothing but lies.
Okay, let's leave it at that then, Martine, because I'm not gonna go through the whole report and do it over.
Well, I'm
not
sorry,
doing
but
that.
that's why they asked me to come here,
Okay,
and
I
this is,
will speak to this fellow myself, so.
no, because you wanna extend it a little longer. Why? Because Martine wants to leave town. And
What are
I
you
want
talking
this
about?
corrected before I leave.
Well, you can talk to Inspector Rick Saranet about that.
Well, too
He's the
bad
boss.
this
Could
was
she,
set
like,
today.
correct it all and then just like
If she wants to do.
send
It is
you guys
corrected.
a copy?
And I'm keeping
Of
the
it
copy
all?
too.
Yeah, like just
Well, you can-
photocopy it so then they know.
The secretary will make a copy, I'll take a look at what you wrote down, but I'm not gonna go through here and argue with you for
Why?
an hour or an hour
That's
and
your
a half.
job, isn't it? Aren't
Not
you
my
guys
job.
paid to do the
Nope.
work properly here?
I'm going by what was
Like-
on the computer, what the officers told
Well,
me.
you know what, your
Keep a
computer's
copy.
wrong.
Well, then,
The
let's
computer's
leave it
wrong.
at that, I'm gonna end it now, because I'm not gonna sit here
Why?
and argue with you for that, because,
Why?
not
Because
here
there's
to
a new
do that.
PP officer, you guys don't
No.
want to prove that you guys
If-
were wrong?
no, she read the report, I'm not gonna go through it, no.
She
How are you
read the
gonna
report,
prove
but
it?
it's all wrong.
It's your word
How's it-
against, it's your word
How's
against
it
the officer.
proven? It's easy to be to prove. Melanie never lived in Quebec.
Oh.
Never.
taking-
All right,
She never
I'm
lived
not
in
gonna, I'm
Quebec.
not gonna argue with you, Martine.
I lived in Quebec, she never lived in
Yeah.
Quebec.
That's
Okay,
fine.
so that's a
Yeah.
lie right there. Oh, right here, that at Christmas time, she took a flight back to Thunder Bay with Michelle. I have never, ever flew back with Michelle. I flew into town in Thunder Bay by myself, and Michelle wasn't with me. I came to pick up my car. That she drove back to Alberta with Michelle. Michelle stayed in Alberta. I drove back with Jesse.
I've got the recording of what you told me last time.
No,
You told,
you're
well,
wrong.
see, well,
You're wrong.
I'm saying you're wrong.
You're wrong,
Well,
because I
Maybe you should
drove
make-
back with Jesse.
Listen to her.
Maybe you should make like if you have like a recording of her saying that.
Mhm.
Okay, well maybe we should make up a different time where we can be all chill and just listen to
No,
that
you know
recording
what?
to see what it says.
Sarah,
And it'll-
every time that we did
Right?
police report, they're always messed up. Like even
Well,
the fact
sometimes
of
people-
Kate, okay, where's my witnesses in here?
What with this?
I had a three-way call when Caitlin was slashing her arms.
I don't
That
know.
happened on the reserve when she was slashing her arms. She did not have a history.
Was it reported here or reported to the city police?
It was recorded here because I was on a three-way.
Well, it's not
Phone
on
call.
the system, I
There
don't
was
see
a
it.
witness, there was a witness
Yeah,
that phoned me and told me there was a problem
Yeah.
at the house, and I told her what's
I-
going on.
I don't know
She
where that
put
is.
Caitlin on the phone, and Caitlin
Yeah.
told me exactly. The words that I told John, the police report that John wrote is totally wrong too.
You're
He
saying
said
this,
that
the officer,
Caitlin, no, hang
the
on,
officer that
Tony.
came in here?
He said.
No, you're yelling at me,
No,
I'm
no.
not gonna sit here and
He
take your
said
yelling.
to me,
No.
he said to me
Yeah.
that at the courthouse, I
Yeah.
told him,
Yeah.
he told me get away from Caitlin. I said, I'm not getting away, I'm asking for custody of her. She
Right.
doesn't wanna go back with her dad, she's staying with me.
Yeah.
And I told him, I said, you wanna know why I'm so mad at you, John? He said, why? I said, okay, police report says that she's happy, she's a happy child, she wants to stay with her father. A
Yeah.
happy child, I said, don't cut their arms. You want me to get her undressed and show her arms? Right in the courtroom. The cops that were there said, you know what, Martine? You're free to go with Caitlin. Because I
I wasn't there,
proved
is this
that it was
John
a lie.
McCollum you're talking
John
about?
McCollum came up to me at the courthouse on December 21st, where
Right.
we were going for criminal court when Brian
Okay.
threatened me. And he came up to me and he said, you can't go, Martine, you gotta drop the charges. And I said, why would I drop the charge? And he said, well, I'm gonna offer you this. You see the children at Christmas time.
Mhm,
And I said, you know what, that's a bribe. And I said, no.
Yeah,
Okay, because bribe To me,
I
when
don't
it
know.
comes to
I
protect my
wasn't there. I
children,
wasn't there, I
that's
can't tell
totally
you.
different. No, of course you
wasn't
weren't there.
Yeah,
But you know what? It might be my word against
Yes.
you guys, but my
Yes, sir.
word is better.
what's up? Yep. That's it. Let's see if I read these for a second.
Sure. That's what they do. They try to get you upset and say it never happened, that this is not wrong. I have never driven back to Alberta with Michelle.
Okay, Martine, John is right here, you tell him.
Yes, I will.
Well, just for the record, I'm John McCullough. I'm working with the Anishinaabe Police Service. Been employed here for 11 years. Dealt with you on several occasions. You asked about witnesses. I'm one witness. I can tell you that I was subpoenaed to court, which was thrown out. I did talk to you at a court with another city officer. You're referring to this time at the courthouse that we had interaction. Am I right?
Okay, hang on, before you go any further, John, was there any witness, or there was just me and you? So you know what, if you're
No.
gonna tell me that your word is
Martine.
against me, my word is as much
Okay.
against you, because you did bribe me. You told me I would see my little girls at Christmas time if I dropped the charges with Brian.
Okay, okay.
Of course you went to the judge and tried to drop the, all you guys been doing is protecting Brian. You haven't protected my girls, and you sure didn't protect
Martine,
me.
I just want to
And you
clear
did not protect Melanie, and I have sent an email here that Melanie has written that it states, truly states on there that Brian did threaten me with the Hells Angels and his friends.
Okay, but I want to go back to.
Well, you know
I
what,
wanna
go back, he has threatened me, he has threatened my
Okay.
children for
Okay.
speaking up. This is the reason why I am getting upset. I did not want my children on here because I'm trying to protect them.
Okay.
Yous are putting them on there and you're putting them in
It's on my
danger.
report that I
And the
report
court,
to.
yes, I did ask in court, John, I asked the judge, he said, Martine, do you have witnesses to the threats? And I said, yes, I do, but I do not, please, please, do not involve my children in it, because Brian has threatened my kids also. Now, being a mother, you try to protect your children,
Yeah.
and you do not want them to testify because you know that their life is at risk. That is the reason why I brought myself at risk, because you know what? I'm just a goddamn mother that was abused and nobody listened to me. And even if anything happens to me, I've said it before and I said it to my kids, if I die, it was well worth it, because I'm trying to protect my children, and that is caring and loving. Okay?
Understandable.
Understandable?
Yes.
Well, you guys sure don't
But
understand anything because it's corruption,
specifics here,
it's
and we're
lies,
talking about
it's
the
things.
courthouse,
Like,
where I
there's
remember
police, like,
Martine.
okay,
Martine.
Tony, I have never,
Listen to John,
I have
talk to him
never-
now.
No, listen for.
I have
for a
never
second.
gotten arrested or pulled over by you. You know who pulled me?
I didn't say I pulled you over.
Yes, it does, it's right in here. Thank you.
Oh, that was years ago.
No,
when
no,
I
no,
worked
no,
here
no, no,
years
no, no.
ago.
Bob Baxter
You showed
pulled
me
me
where?
over. Bob Baxter pulled me over.
No, because I can show you right in my
Bob
notebooks. I
Baxter
can
pulled
show
me
you
over.
right in my
Bob Baxter
notebooks.
is the one that also did the sexual abuse that Melanie went through when she had Nathan sexually abuse her and had a knife to her throat while he
Okay.
had sex with her, and Caitlin
you know what, I'm
was standing
No,
at
that's,
the end of
you know,
the bed.
that's it, we're not gonna go
Well,
any
that's
further.
it.
No, because I'm
It's
not
the
taking,
truth.
I don't
It's
need
the
to sit here
truth.
and take your abuse.
Sexual abuse
No.
is hidden. A lot of things
No,
are
let's-
hidden.
okay,
Oh,
that's
you want the
fine.
police report for the sexual abuse? I got that one too.
No,
You
let's,
want the
we're gonna end
police
it, we're gonna
report?
end it right now.
You want the police report when Caitlin
We're gonna-
went in
Martine,
for
we're gonna end this video
Caitlin
statement.
42
The time now
pills?
is 3:18 PM and that concludes this statement.
That concludes the statement. You guys are lying. How can a reserve protect children if you guys are lying?